UFO goes by while I'm doing my video because I really want some likes. In the meantime, I want to talk about just generalities about what's going on in here. So in the past probably three workouts, I haven't fucking touched any of my vitamins. The reason why is because I like to clear out any of the stuff that may be in many ways considered too much in my blood vessels and stuff like that. So like you would a pot plant before harvest, you flush the fucking weed so that all the nutrients and shit don't, that are clogged in there get washed back out. Because now you want to just smoke the weed. You don't want all that shit in there. So that's exactly what I do. I mean, yeah, before harvest, I don't know about all that, but at the very least, I clean out my system. So now a lot of people right now are probably thinking,
that's because you can't afford motherfucking vitamins every month, bitch.
No, bro, let me tell you something. I just want enough to where I'm comfortable. It doesn't matter what the fucking directions say. And once in a while, I take a little too much when I'm short of something. So, I mean, like a little too much creatine, maybe a couple more. I mean, maybe instead of one, just two ubiquinols. And I think you're supposed to take one ubiquinol one in the morning, one at night or something. But I've only taken ubiquinol once, maybe twice a day. So I never go with three of them. But usually it's once. And I just wanted to clarify some things. Bodybuilders, I watch bodybuilders because it's a freak show. It's like walking into the circus, You get to see the lady with fur that looks like Bigfoot. Back in the old days, that's what a freak show is. So I would always watch bodybuilding from day one. Never did I think about, well, a couple of times I thought, yeah, maybe steroids would be a good time when I was young. I'm glad I never touched them, though. I'm so glad I never fucking touched them. I mean, the only thing I ever had that had steroid associated with an epidural, which is something they give you for inflammation. It has nothing to do with the steroids that bodybuilders take. But anyway, so I do make a lot of mistakes. I want to clarify another thing. I'll say something about somebody, like, let's just say their names, Sam Sulek. I couldn't believe how quick of a transformation he actually made. I didn't like his aesthetics from day one.
But now I gotta say, I'm really impressed.
I mean, I get fucking fooled occasionally, and when I do, I'm amazed at how fooled I got. I mean, the guy actually looks really good right now. I'm fucking amazed. So I just wanted to throw that out there, even though I'm not, just not even a month ago I was saying I didn't like it. But maybe it's because I don't visit the channel enough. But anyway, when I went and visited it, maybe a month ago, I looked at it once, or maybe 2 months, I don't know, ago. And I only check in a little bit to see what he's either saying or doing. And I ain't gonna lie, I don't watch much of the video. But I ain't gonna kid around, man. I was so impressed that I was wrong, because it's like, I don't like to be wrong, man, about fucking shit.
So, yeah, salute to Sam Sulek.
And the guy's actually doing fucking really cool stuff to his body, even though Duchette, Craig Duchette says he's fucking stupid for doing it. He, to me, looks less steroidal and more compound ripped muscle. I'm very impressed. I mean, let's also call it what it is. If I was doing steroids, I would do similar shit to him if I had a problem with too much bulking or too much fat in my muscle. So I just was wrong about Sam Sulek's aesthetics. It actually looks pretty good. What I think it is because he's young, he built his body up so quick, he didn't really have a chance to show off aesthetics. He was trying to get big. And he's still young, so I get it. Now he's a little, let's hope he doesn't go overboard with getting lean, because I'm going to tell you right now, doing steroids like a junkie, and that's something I do call them. I call people that use that shit junkies. And, but nonetheless, regardless of what I call them, they're not fucking falling all over the place and crossing the street and getting hit by cars. That part's good. I'm not like these guys. They flood their systems with shit. If it isn't one thing, it's another thing. And because, they do their whole regiment and pretty much their body to the fullest extreme, what it's definitely even designed for, I will say this: power lifters, especially, their peak moment maybe 35 years old, maybe 40 years old, if they're fucking lucky. But the truth is, cartilage doesn't repair. So once you like, that's why I got fake knees. Okay, I used to jump off roofs. Now I didn't do a lot of squats and deadlifts when I was a bodybuilder, even because it didn't encourage me just to bulk up. I always wanted to just look aesthetically good. So bulking up I can do in micro, like microdosing if you're doing mushrooms, magic mushrooms. Yeah, I can handle that. I do microdosing into my muscles, and as a result of that, I think my aesthetic stays good when I do get in shape, way better. And I really never thought that I would be many years ago, a morphine addict legally, but I didn't think but my back was bad when I was young, 15, 16. I think twice I couldn't get up for 2 weeks. My back was so I was paralyzed, basically. I had to have people help me. Now I got fake knees. I got fused back, about that much facets in my back is fused naturally, though. And I've had about 28 radio frequency ablations. This is just stuff you might want to know, just because I fight all the issues that I ever had when I'm in shape. So, like, obviously, I'm not going to do a lot of squats now or a lot of deadlifts now. I got fake fucking knees. I wasn't even supposed to ride a bike, really, technically, after I had these surgeries. They said, in place, yeah, but don't be trying to ride up hills and shit. You'll fuck the knee up, potentially. And it's like, fuck that, and who's going to agree to all that shit? I should be like a cyborg based on your fucking, oh, yeah, we'll give you fake knees. But it's not that way. You still got to be extra careful. And instead of having cartilage that absorbs a little bit, these things there's no shocks in the knee replacement. So, or maybe there is. I'm pretty sure who knows? Maybe they do put some form of shocks in there. I don't remember. But I just wanted to straighten up and clarify a lot of things. Like, I will talk some shit about some people and I'll be wrong. And I'll look at it later in their video, and maybe they caught wind of somebody else is complaining like me or saying, giving them shit about something, and then they just reverse it and make it all look great. So there's a few people out there that I can't say I understand a lot of the things that people do when they are in a freak show, but I don't run around looking at naturals at all. Like, I don't go on YouTube looking at naturals. Oh, what's to look at? If you're natural, you're natural. It's not gonna be super impressive, so it's not a freak show. I mean, yeah, Chris Bumstead fucking pretty much did a great job, but you got to question some of the things that his decision-making process. But look at him. He's selling vitamins and nutrients now, and most of these guys do. I don't understand how they're able to get those bank loans for all that fucking vitamin creation, but it's impressive that they're able to fucking form a business based off, being a freak show. But the truth is, maybe they should have nutrients out that are based just in reality, because right now the industry is ridiculous. You buy a protein thing this big and
there's this much in it.
I mean, that's Chris Bumstead shit. You buy a fucking thing this big, says protein. You gotta kind of look at the weight and you gotta kind of like figure out. So now you gotta go into Costco just to get a bag full of that shit, $60. It's not even Chris Bumstead, it's some other fucker. Anyway, the point is, apparently he was a natural. There's no guarantees it was all natural, though. I mean, he may have bulked out at some point on those motherfucking steroids. So, a lot of the industry is based off, if you don't look the part of being kind of at least severely big as even a natural, then you're not going to get anywhere. So a lot of these guys, they may have bulked up and just kept it secret. And now, how are you going to prove they once took steroids? So they may have bulked up using steroids and then quit and then just played like they're a natural. So I wanted to make that also perfectly crystal clear that those guys, no matter how natural they claim to be, they wouldn't have gotten whatever they got, won titles and shit, necessarily based on just natural genetics, if you have no way to prove or not that they bulked up using steroids. And let's just call that what it is. They bulk up using steroids and then they play the whole natural gig because it's quicker to achieve the muscles than they just lay back and come, just draw off them like some morphine addict or something. And then at least you still have muscles that are big and all that. Now you can cut up, you know. So a lot of these guys, I believe they do cheat. But how are you going to know? You can't go back in time and say, yeah, we found these enzymes stuck in his veins that prove he did steroids. Maybe there is a way, but I don't know of it. I'm not a medical professional, nor do I actually care, because most of the things I see, let's say sports is one of them. And boxing is just another one that just points to mob-controlled wins and losses. So a lot of things are built on nefarious roots, and they just play like they're all good, you know. So I believe sports are fixed. Now, I'm not saying all, you know, college is necessarily too fixed. It might not be, it may be more. Who knows? Because it's just less. There's less money spent on investigating, you know, if there's any activity. But nonetheless, like in Nevada, the gaming board runs the whole state. So if you complain about 5 clubbed aces coming out of a deck of blackjack and a 4-deck shoe, you know, the first thing they're going to do is kick you out. And they're not even afraid of the gaming commission because they're all in on it. Nobody's going to get in trouble when the casinos cheat. And one time there were 6 major casinos, like in maybe it was 2002 or 3, the Venetian, every one of, they didn't name them, but you could basically guess, because they said they were the biggest, some of the biggest casinos. 6 of them got caught using earphones with, you know, dealers that had hair over the earphones. They'd say, okay, act like that guy didn't get his bet out in time, even though the guy did.
And then, of course, they have rules in the casino. We don't back up the cards for shit. Get out of our fucking casino, asshole.
You know, they're just like that. So, yeah, a lot of things have nefarious roots. So I want to make that known, that I'm pretty much not a believer that, let's say, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl, technically, because it's controlled by the mob. Everyone probably thought the tally was probably ahead of time that the Kansas City would win. So obviously, they won a lot of money off the lost. You know, the tallies prior to the fucking game. And that's how they figure out, okay, now make the Philadelphia Eagles win, you know? I mean, I don't believe in boxing. I think it's all fixed. Look at Tyson. He would have beat that guy to a pulp. Let's just call that what it is. I don't care he's 58 years old. He would have beat fucking Jake Paul
to a fucking pulp. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
So I met the guy in Mirage Casino. Speaking of big casinos, I met him. You know, I shook his hand and I walked up through 14 of his bouncers, and I think one of his bouncers ended up probably getting fired over that, because I don't think Tyson technically liked that he got snuck up on, you know. So I'm like super stealthy. I might as well have been in the motherfucking military, okay? I was in military school for, well, 3.5 years, I think, technically, but I mean, I got kicked out for smoking weed. But, you know, I could have gone into the military. I was really good at all military stuff. It was just academics. I wanted to, you know, I just fucking couldn't pay attention. I didn't want to look at there was a few teachers that were really good looking. You couldn't even concentrate.
And their ass was sticking out.
And there was this one lady, she had a butt so big, it looked as big as those giant beach balls. And it just went doing like that on each side. It was impossible to concentrate on chemistry. You know, I was like, wait a minute, you know, she's not real pretty, but, you know, I'm starting to pop a Woody here because that shit looks out of place, but it's, you know, somehow, you know, that femininity factor just pops into your brain no matter how. It's like, Jesus, yeah, it's so fucking big, I can't even believe it's in the school trying to teach me. I mean, it would just draw your attention away from everything, you know. You'd be like, God, I bet you it's hard to wipe her ass, though. You know, you'd think shit like that. So anyway, I just wanted to do this video today to say, you know, the Trend twins have no vascularity. I will continue to say that. I don't think they have good trend. You know, I think the Trend fucks their vascularity up, honestly. I mean, what's his name thought he was going to cut up after he got his pec tear. And the next thing I know, he doesn't even have better vascularity. It's like, hey man, they might be big for their size, but let's just call it what it is. I'm taller than both of them, okay? I'm fucking 5'9", and anyone can come measure me and I'll be 5'9".